guys, I got so involved in working up on the deck that I completely forgot to introduce and welcome to little girl her brand new, not quite brand new, Honda 5. And beautiful little engine. I'm really looking forward to this. It is so dependable. Yeah, I'm not going to have to worry about whether or not it's going to start when I pull that cord. Anyways, it has a built-in 1.5 gallon tank, which will go for quite a ways, but you also can hitch it up to a regular fuel tank, just like you do a lot of the outboards. So anyway, welcome aboard my little Honda 5, and looking forward to having good dependable motor aboard little girl. We're up on the foredeck. This is port side. This is a big section of the original coring and sheathing that was laid down by seafarer boats over 50 years ago. And this section is very solid. I was worried about moisture content, and this has now been unsheathed. In other words, the top has been off from this now for over a month. And I'm going around and feeling this, and there seemed to be some moisture in the outer edges at first. It is just dry as a bone now. I'm thinking that with having exposed this, whatever moisture was out here in these outer edges seems to have just completely dissipated. This section right here, I mean, that's just all hard, rock hard now, and just not even wanting to peel away. Anyway, so I think what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and take this one more strip right here from right here up to right here. You just take that off just so it'll be nice and neat and clean to be able to edge in my new coring. And then other than that, I think we're going to leave this, grind it down a little bit around the edges because it's going to have to be. And then we'll kind of go from there as far as building a new skin for it. But yeah, it's not like Australia that we had right over there that every bit of that had to go. There was just a whole lot of moisture. This port side was just, it was weird because it was almost like it never was exposed to all the moisture. It just all went starboard. So anyway, so that's the situation. I'm going to get my Dremel out and start doing some cutting here, get that part of it cleaned up, and then we're going to start sanding. There's another repair that I'm going to have to make right there. You can see that's got pushed down when I was trying to get the skin up, and I'm going to just have to sand that all out and just put another very thin layer of probably matte and some resin down, and kind of go from there. Look at this mess. That over there, that was somebody cut from below. I don't know what they were trying to do, but that right there, I don't know if you see it. You can see it was a cut mark. They were coming up from below, probably trying to get at this and trying to get rid of all the rotten coring that was underneath it. But all this is going to be sanded out. The holes are going to be completely plugged. They will be rebored for the new what do you call it? For the I just blanked. Well, here's where your cowling goes. That's all going to be completely plugged too. And again, you see where the people were trying to cut from below. I don't know what was happening with these people. But anyway, that's all going to be completely glassed over, you know, sanded out, glassed over, and then a new hole will be cut for the new cowling to go down through. And yeah, okay. I'm going to shut up and get to work. All right, so I got this all marked out. This is my cut line. I want to just mention this. My dad had 2 of these folding rulers in his kit and his tools. And both of them were broken. This first section was broken out of them, right about at the hinge mark here. And I've got one of them that I'm keeping in my tool bag. But I decided to just go out and get one for myself, and I've watched a lot of videos of guys working on boats, boat rights, and they use these, and so I decided, yeah, I'm going to try that, and I just use it for that, straight as an arrow. We're good to go. Okay, let me go to get this Dremel set up, and we'll get some cut done. Well, I didn't subject you to the noise of it all, but anyway, there it is. This is my brother's Dremel is like half again more powerful than mine, but Anyway, so I was able to make quick work of this. I cut all 3 strips. I'm going to go in now with my my grandmother's super knife that you have seen in a couple of the other videos, and pop all this out, and then we'll have a nice straight line to butt up our new coring against. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started. Wow, that thing works like a charm. See that? Everything I'm pulling up now is dry as a bone. This is from the inside. In other words, from the inside layers. That stuff I was taking up from Australia last week, a couple of weeks ago, every bit of it, a lot of it was just coming up really, really damp on the inside. But this is dry. Yeah, I'm not going to have any problem leaving this. I think it's going to be, there's no sense in replacing something that's solid as a rock already. And so we're good with that. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. All right. One more strip and we're good to go. Dry as a bone, beautiful. We're going to have a nice straight line here to butt up our new coring against. Got a lot of sanding to do before we get to that though. Yeah. You know, the amazing part of it is I have put my grandmother's knife through absolute torture. It hasn't even, yeah, it hasn't even begun to bend. It is just solid. This is high carbon steel, forged steel. And man, this thing is an amazing piece of equipment. I'm sure that Grammy never knew I was going to be using something that she used in her kitchen on Little Girl, my boat. But you know what? I'm sure she would have been just fine and happy about it, knowing that it's getting used and not forgotten about. And I'm mentioning my grandmother, Gardner, in a video. Let's see, she died in 1984. That was a long time ago. Anyway, all right, that's it, guys. We are done. That's it. That is a nice straight line, all cut, and we're good to go. The sun for a few minutes so you can see this. I bought a whole bunch of these online. They're exactly the right fit for my Dremel, and this batch happens to be 60 grit, and that's exactly what I want. I want something nice and coarse to be able to get down through and start taking down the old roddy rosin and garbage on top from all the rotted coring over the years. And so I'm starting out with 60, and I don't know if I'm doing it right or not. I'm just going to tear into it and take it down the best I can. Maybe get it to a finer grit a little bit later, but for right now, this is taking it up. There's 3 more right there. The one I just put on that I'm using now is, you know, it's got a lot of life left in it. So we're going to just keep on slogging here, keep on grinding away, and try to get this pan cleaned up to be able to put new coring, new glass down. Okay, let's get this started. It's going to be loud. I may not record much of it because it's going to deafen everybody. So, but I'm going to start going through this area that is so bad, and we'll see how much we can take down. I am going to wear a mask, glasses on. You're not going to be able to hear me because I'm wearing a mask. All right, that's it. I'm going to get started. Okay, that's a start. That's going to be high though. All right, let me take a look at this, see how it looks. It's going to take a whole lot more sanding than I thought it was. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn this off. Let me see how this looks. And I may just save you guys the hassle of listening to this. Because there's going to be take this mask off anyway. So there's going to be a whole lot of this. And I'm not going to spend my whole video doing, making you listen to this. I don't know if you can see it with the bright sunlight out here or not, but I've been sanding on this cut that somebody did from below, and I was sanding along, and right there just literally a chunk of the old pan just pulled right up out, and this old deck is over 50 years old, and I'm sure other guys have dealt with this too, but this deck is extremely dry and brittle. And I'm going to be glad to be putting some new life back into it. But man, this is going to be a lot of work. It takes a lot to sand this down and get it down to glass. And it's going to be a lot of work. All right, well, I'm just going to keep going. And with the rate this is going, I seriously doubt I'm going to be getting to any repairs this trip. I'm just going to concentrate on areas that are going to have to be repaired. Like right there with the cut, maybe I've already done some sanding there. Back here, I've been working on this area that was a punch through down into the cabin below, into that cuddy up in the V-berth. Yeah, and this is going to be a ticklish area because it wants to curve up because it's been broken for so long. I'm just going to keep grinding until I try to get this down as flat as possible. And then we'll see how it goes with some glass and some resin. So, all right. Well, I hate to say it, I was actually kind of afraid of this when I cut up the deck, and that we were going to be in for a real long, difficult slog trying to get this thing back to a normal deck. All right, well, I'm almost blinded by the light, but let me just show you what we're doing here. Aside from doing all this grinding I'm doing with a Dremel here, I've also been going under this side deck here along the what I call the catwalk, and I'm using my raker tool that I made, and I'm going back under here for 2 inches, because even though this is not wet, all this stuff back under here is just kind of punky and very, very dried out. And so for about 2 inches I'm clearing out back underneath this side deck, and that way when I get started and I start putting the new coring in, I'm going to extend it all the way back in here. And there's this stuff that Ryan said he's going to give me. This you just squirt it in there, and it looks like an epoxy resin filler, and we're going to just squirt it all back in here and then tuck the new coring in right up against it, and we'll do that all the way around, and just kind of keep working it. But on this, that's the only place I'm having to do it, because all the way across the front of the cabin here, it's in good shape, and that section over there that we've already worked on this morning, that is in superb condition, and I'm not going to have to even touch that. That's all going to stay right where it is, and we'll tuck up brand new coring up against what you see right there. So anyway, we're making some progress. It's real easy doing this stuff to get discouraged. I'll be honest about it. It's easy to get discouraged because it just looks like it's such a tremendous project. And thankfully, my brother's probably going to, well, I know he is. My brother's going to come in on me with this, because he's already done his deck on his old sailboat. And like I said before, man, that thing is solid as a rock. So anyway, let's get back to work. We made some progress. I may get back to this a little bit later, but probably not. This time around, I have managed to sand most of this starboard side of the deck. I got quite a bit of work done here. I'm not satisfied with it. I got all this dug out underneath here, going back onto the side deck. I got that whole section cut out over there, to where I've got nice square corners to be able to block in our new coring, and that's going to be really nice. And I'm really satisfied now that it is adequately dried out to where we're not going to have to worry about that one big section of coring there has any kind of moisture in it that's going to do any damage. I don't think it will. I think that's the one section of the foredeck that just stayed sound. I don't know what's going on, but it worked. Okay, up here, got a lot of sanding done on that cut thing that somebody did from below, and basically all the way out to the center out here. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with it. I don't know how smooth this has to be. It's not all that smooth, but I tell you what, it's gotten down past most of the garbage right onto the glass itself. And they say, from what I've studied, you put epoxy resin over the top of polyester resin, you've got one whale of a bond on it. That's going to be very, very strong. And so I'm not going to worry about it a whole lot. I'm going to do some inquiring to see how much further I need to go, whether I need to get it down to just glass, or is it going to adhere to this little skin coat of polyester that's on top of the glass. I don't know. Anyway, a lot of progress so far. It's been a good trip, and we got that skeg done, the straps on the bottom of the rudder. So okay, for now I'm gonna button it up. We're gonna go see my dad up at the nursing home and spend some time with him this afternoon, and then we'll get back to this later. I think we're going to be going to grab some supper down at Seafood Sam's down on the canal, and looking forward to that. So, all right, we'll be back later. All right, guys, this is a wrap on this session of Restoring Little Girl. It's been a good trip. I did not get as much done up on the deck as I'd wanted to, but got quite a bit done. One of the things I'm definitely going to do next time, I'm going to make sure I bring all the equipment I need. I'm bringing my random orbital sander next time. I forgot it totally. I forgot my Dremel. I had to borrow my brother's, and that's not the best thing in the world to be sanding all that, all that yardage up there up on the foredeck. So anyway, but we still got quite a bit done. Got that one big block of coring over on the port blocked off nice and smooth and straight, so that it's going to be pretty easy to block in the new coring with it. And yeah, that went fine. Then we also got the rudder, the strap that goes to the bottom of the rudder post. That got that completely bedded and new bolts put home, and everything's in good order down there. Don't have to think about it for this season. And last but not least, I now have a wonderful newer engine, and it's tucked safely back under the back of a little girl back here, and the other one has been put away in the shed, and when Ryan wants it, he can come pick it up, and it's all set. We're just grateful everything is gone as well as it has, and just want to thank everybody for stopping by Restoring Little Girl. And we'll get down as soon as we can. Probably be another couple of weeks, but we're trying to get down here a little more frequently, especially with my dad in the nursing home and spending some time with my mom. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. God bless. Catch you next time.